Okay, welcome back to Jujutsu Kaisen Anime Review, episode number 40. Well, we're here reviewing the final episode, and this is kind of weird with this one, because they refer to this as Culling Game Part 1, this arc. But this is kind of the end of Season 3. They already confirmed Season 4. Now, I think it's a little weird that it's like this. Like, are you saying like Season 3 is like the first half of the Culling game and like Season 2 is second half? That is presumed on my part, but I don't have a concrete answer about that. It is just very odd, to say the least. Now, why did I say that, of course? By the way, we're discussing the Southern Colony. That's the name of the episode, so 59 of the show, which covers from the manga. If I can get this thing up working here. I guess that doesn't work here. The way how much the manga this covers is kind of interesting. So it covers pages 3 through 19 of chapter 174, the entirety of 175. Pretty much, I did check these because all they did was skip the cover story of these one. And I'm gonna say for 176 to 178 that these chapters are all fully adapted. 179 full adaptation of that one. 180. 181 is quite interesting because it adapts pages 4 through 8 and page 17. So mostly put, it starts off... Now, they skipped the first 2 pages for some weird reason. Not really sure exactly why. You were thinking, what, were those two chapters last episode? No, they were not. Basically, we start with Yuta, the main protagonist of Jujutsu Kaisen 0, who is basically a supporting character in the show. Yes. We see him basically taking a group of civilians to safety at a stadium while he deals with 2 sorcerers. They do mention he defeated one named Jurov, but we do have him fight a couple of characters here. One is a cockroach monster named Kiraroshi, which he actually tries to kiss and steal his power. Yeah, it's really weird. Let's see. There's this woman named Takauru, which they do a little bit of censor with her, where in the manga they show a little more revealing. Basically, she covers her chest, her groin area, and her butt with this weird energy, kind of a racing thing. Her ability allows her to walk in the sky. We first see in the episode where you have her and Yuta walking through a museum where they're on both sides, away from each other, and no, this doesn't do with any virus, whatever. So, and she finds, he's a descendant of some Futa bloodline, and they fight back and forth. Oh, and in case you're curious, who is the voice of this beautiful woman? This is Erika Lembach. That's the voice. She does a pretty good job voicing her. Then there's a guy who's basically got an afro that fires energy. This guy here is Ryu Izaguri, and he's voiced by Alex Lee. That's interesting. And basically, it's like a 3-way fight between the two of them, between these 3 people, where they basically destroy a parking garage. I think they destroy like a couple apartment buildings, but look if no one is there because all the civilians are evacuated. It's a massive brawl. Then, of course, they do eminent domain, and then it gets broken because the cockroach comes in, and basically Yuta also summons Rika, which of course, yes, is the same voice actress who voiced her in the movie. Yes, they actually bring her back here. Rika, who is voiced by Aja Kronos, who's basically now a spirit. And yes, she did confirm on Twitter that she did reprise her role here, which good for her for that, and good on basically for Allegra Clark for basically bringing that her in, because I think she's the one who's in charge of the dub for the season. I believe so, despite the fact she also voices Maki. So, and pretty much a lot, like, we break a lot of stuff here. Ryu, basically, Uru gets her arm chopped off. Rika eats her arm. Yuja basically forms like an arm around himself. And basically, like, he wins. He defeats both of them. In the case of Uru, she basically gets away. I don't know if Yuta got her points, but he does get Ryu's points. Bring his points up to 190 because he spares his life because he doesn't want to kill him. And then we briefly see Yuta and the comedian superhero very briefly, which these two did not interact before in the previous episode. Just, they're rolling alongside each other very briefly. And that's probably a tease for something later. But this episode is awesome. And it is something, though, the fact that this episode pretty much in a way covered for full chapters. This episode covered 6 full chapters. What's it for? I'd say most of the chapter, but all of it, and part of one chapter. So, you probably think, like, how much is left to go for Culling game? Not much longer, per se. I think it's like about 40 chapters left. Yeah, roughly about 40 chapters left to go for the entire arc itself. So, they have kind of confirmed a season 4. If that's going to be part 2 of this arc, I'm like, okay. Are we going to have a Cour 2 of this season? It's weird. I think we might have a Cour 2, but I've had no confirmation about that because info about this is just plain weird. Yeah, it is by far one of the most weirdest things related to this season. Well, it's not season, this series. It, like I said, it's weird given the fact that where basically wrap the season up here, and we already have season 4 coming, but we currently have no release date for it yet. Oh, in case you're curious, though, there is officially still one more chapter, one more arc left to go, and that is, after this one, it's Sukuna Showdown, and that takes up exactly 50 chapters. So, I'm guessing we might have a part 2 for the season, but in the case of if in fact we do have part 2, I am guessing we probably will. But that will depend on basically Mappa, because they're the ones who dub this, they're the ones who make this anime. So it's up to them of when in the world we get a chance to get in their season for this. But as for this first Cour for season 3, I'd say a lot of this was really good, and there's no denying the best episode is the Maki episode. That is by far the best episode of the entire season. Well, this Cour anyways. It is also the longest. I think it's like about 40 minutes, I think this one was. But this was awesome. Excuse me. And plus, gotta give high praise for Allegra Clark for her voice performance for the episode. It was awesome. It was so amazing. Then afterwards, it started to slip a bit, and now we're getting back to, with this episode, it's kind of in a way back to form for Jujutsu Kaisen, because after basically having like 2 episodes where I feel like nothing much is happening, and because the last 2 episodes have been not as good as they should be. That's the problem. Like I would say the last 2 episodes were really good. It just the Tokyo Colony thing took a bit longer than it should have. And that is not that's not the anime's fault. That's the manga's fault with this Tokyo Colony stuff. Yeah. And this took up like a few episodes. They said there's a colony. That took up 1 episode. My guess is that if they do part 2, it's probably cover Tokyo Colony 2 and Jujutsu Colony and offering basically all the rest. And we pretty much basically have 40 more, like it's roughly, I think it's about I'm thinking about 39 and a half chapters left to go for this whole arc. As for the whole series, since it goes to, I think it's like 57, I think it is. It's 71, so let's see. They pretty much got to 180 here. No, that's not what I want. There we go. So 271 minus 280. No. Thank you. Okay, so there is overall for the entire series roughly about 90 and a half chapters left to go. So we got probably about 2 more seasons of this, and that's it. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, to notifications. Be right back and do my next video. Okay, next video. Bye.